What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cool with Cool Kicks. We're here to talk about some interesting stuff today, guys. There are two things that we focus on this channel. We talk about getting super good deals, and we also talk about getting really dope stuff for retail. And I've seen a lot of you guys take L's, and I have been pretty fortunate. Been picking up quite a few dope stuff. Let's talk about every step you guys need to take to make sure you guys get all this dope stuff. And I hate to break it to you guys, but there's no real easy way to cop limited stuff. It's gonna take some work because there's so freaking much money in it. There's a lot of resellers out there, and just collecting's at an all-time high. Like, seriously, sneaker collecting is just crazy huge right now. So you're gonna have to put in some work. But if you put in some work, you can get some of this stuff for retail. All right, the first thing you guys need to do is you guys need to make sure you guys know when sneakers release. The way I keep track, I make sure I check sneakers, and I also make sure I check the Foot Locker app pretty much every other day to make sure there's no updated information about what sneakers are coming out. I hear from plenty of you guys that, hey, you guys aren't into social media and stuff like that. You guys are gonna wanna get on social media. If you wanna cop the dope stuff, you need to get on social media, you guys. That is the easiest way to get information about what sneakers are coming out when, because there's just a lot of information out there on social media. The people you're gonna wanna follow, J23 app right there. You're also gonna wanna follow Soul Links. And then on Twitter, you're gonna wanna follow Sneaker Twitter. You don't have to follow all of these, but you know, the more you follow, the more it does help. You're gonna wanna get on social media, also get on sneakers as well as Foot Locker app. You're gonna wanna find out who's releasing, when they're releasing, and how they're releasing. And if you don't know all three of that information, you're already behind. So one of the dope sneakers are about to come out in 1 or 2 weeks, right? You better be planning ahead at least 2 weeks in advance, because some of these places do start really early. 2 weeks before, you're gonna wanna hit up these social media accounts. You're gonna wanna see what latest information they have. And you're gonna see that finish line already doing raffles 2 weeks before, you guys. 2 freaking weeks before. Chic also does their stuff pretty early as well, but they actually just give you a whole lot of time to sign up for them. A week before, usually you're gonna go to Foot Locker. They're gonna start the RSVP systems. Shoe Palace, they're gonna have in-store raffles. Chic, they're gonna have in-store raffles, but you sign up digitally. JD Sports also has in-store raffles. DTLR in-store raffles. If you're talking about the skate shops, especially with the Nike SBs and stuff like that, you're gonna wanna hit up a lot of the skate shops. You're gonna have to follow their Instagram sites, so you're gonna have to make sure the notifications are on with those fools. Also, the week before, you're gonna also wanna hit up Adidas if you're trying to get some Yeezys. If you wanna put in that extra effort, you're also gonna wanna try it your boutique shops, just like SNS, Undefeated, and those type of websites as well. And when I talk about getting intel about raffles and stuff like that, you need to know all the information about how the raffles work. You need to make sure you know the time frame of when they are taking the raffles, when the raffles need to get picked up, also who can pick up at the raffles, because some allow you to have different people pick up for you, some don't. I've heard DTLR allows other people to pick up for you. Most of the other stores don't, so you have to pick them up. And then you're also gonna need information on when the unclaimed pairs are released. Because with the raffles, after they give out all the raffles, after the timeline goes, there are always some pairs that don't get picked up, and each store handles that differently. All right, so I did talk about in-store raffles, and whenever there's in-store raffles, there is backdooring, and everybody's been asking me about backdooring and complaining about that type of stuff. And to be honest, what's the point of complaining, guys? What's the point of complaining? One thing you need to do is you need to get on that backdoor action. And yeah, that takes time. But let's talk about what you need to do. So there's a lot of misconceptions regarding backdooring. Yeah, to get in with some of these fools, or even this guy right here, you're gonna wanna be able to build trust. These fools are not trying to lose their job for $50 or $100 or something like that. So you're gonna wanna earn the trust of these guys. And the way you do that is by developing relationships with them. Pretty much like any other networking opportunity. Most of the times when we do favors for people, usually it's because they're homies or because we know them. It's not because, hey, we're gonna make a couple bucks here and there. Backdooring is usually against company policies, so these fools ain't trying to lose their job for $50 to $100 when it hits the fan with someone they don't know. So it's all about trust and it's all about developing a relationship with these guys. How do you do that? That's the $1 million question, you guys. That's the $1 million questions. Number one, it's just about being cool with people, just talking to people. Like, I've developed relationships with people at stores just by talking to them. I didn't even know what position they are. I didn't know that they're a manager. I didn't know that they're a store associate or whatever different levels they are. I just talk to people. Just talk to people. Make them know that you're about sneakers, they're about sneakers, and you can develop a decent relationship like that. Especially at the managerial level, if you buy a lot of stuff from them, that's also going to benefit you as well. I'm not saying, hey, buy everything at the store, but saying buying stuff like shoe cleaner and socks, accessories, stuff like that. Buying stuff like that sits for weeks and weeks and weeks, that definitely helps as well. The longer and longer you're able to develop relationships with people, you're able to have that relationship where you can help each other out. You know, if they missed out on a specific sneaker, if they called in sick and they weren't able to pick up a certain pair at their store and they need help picking something up, you can help them that way. But just having some sort of mutually beneficiary relationship, that definitely helps. Do want to let you guys know this is gonna take time. It's gonna take time, and you're gonna want to visit some of the stores pretty frequently. You can always just stop by, check, see what's going on. If you need a couple pair of socks, something like that, go ahead and hit them up. And like I said, every time you go in, you need to talk to people. You need to talk to people, need to develop a relationship. That's how it's done, you guys. All right, so let's get back to hitting up these raffles and getting dubs on these raffles. Now it's a few days before the sneaker release. You're gonna want to hit up every raffle that you can. So hopefully by this time you had already hit up Shoe Palace with all their in-store raffles. If there's a DTLR next to you, you hit up all them for their in-store raffles. JD Sport, you already hit them up for their in-store raffles as well. Foot Locker, you're able to get in on the in-app raffle or reward system, whatever the heck you want to call it. You hit up the skate shops, and you also hit up Chic, and you did digital raffle in-store for them. After you submitted all that information, you're gonna want to make sure you don't miss any phone calls. Even if you get that random phone call and you're worried that it's gonna be a bill collector or something like that, you're still gonna want to pick up. You're gonna have to pay the price. You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna want to make sure you check the Foot Locker app. Make sure you don't miss that confirmation opportunity. Local time, usually for California, it's about 2 p.m. So yeah, you can't miss that. And then you need to make sure you check your notifications for all the apps and stuff like that. Then hopefully on release day, you get that dub, you get that win. You don't have to stress out. You don't have to freaking wake up at 7 in the morning our time. If you're in Hawaii, you gotta wake up at 5 in the morning. Yeah, that's something that you don't want to have to do. And if you do have to wake up super early in the morning and try to go for that dub on release day, there's a few things that we can do. All right, so on release day, you need to make sure you hit up the J23 app, Sneaker Twitter, Soul Links. You need to make sure you hit them up. They have the actual link where you can actually just go straight to the actual shoe instead of having to click on Hibbett Sports and then having to click on the Jordan sign and then having to click on the release and all that type of stuff. You're gonna want to save those precious seconds, which is gonna make a world of a difference. And you better be starting this process 10-20 minutes before the release time, because you need to make sure you're logged in, make sure your payments are ready, make sure your fingerprint scanner is ready. Sneaker's been tripping, and Sneaker's been making you add passwords and stuff like that, even though your password's already stored and stuff like that. So you need to make sure you spend 10-15 minutes going over all the databases, all the apps and stuff like that to make sure your stuff is ready. Don't be the noob who has to sit there and spend 15 seconds on your password and then you can't remember your password and all this drama. Don't you dare put yourself in that position, because you're gonna get the L. All right, now that it's release time, you're gonna wanna figure out which website or app you're gonna wanna try first. And most of you people are gonna choose Sneakers, and most of you guys are gonna strike out. I don't know about you guys, I've not hit on Sneakers in, I swear, like forever. I think I only hit like 2 or 3 things all last year on Sneakers. So yeah, Sneakers just been hella competitive, and that's what everybody knows. So that's kind of where everybody goes first. You're gonna want to hit up some of these other websites first. Even on the first come first serve, the way Sneakers works is they'll get 2 minutes worth of people, and what they'll do is they'll do a mini lottery and stuff like that. So even if you are the first person there, you're not guaranteed anything. So make sure you use sneakers wisely and don't have that as your first option. You're gonna want to hit up some of the other websites. I always try Dick's Sporting Goods. That's where I hit on the Kobe Grinches. Snipes is always a good option, but Snipes, there's a queue, so you need to make sure you get in on Snipes like 2 hours early, because that's when the queue starts. But once you're in that queue, it's usually a line process. As long as you're one of the first ones in line, you're almost guaranteed to be able to get it done. Websites, pretty much all the Flex apps, Foot Locker, Foot Action, Champs, East Bay, those are all a freaking waste of time in my opinion. The bots, just kill it on those. Shoe Palace is also the same as well. And I've also never won on Finish Line or JD Sports the day of as well. So those I always stay away from. I usually hit up every other website. Even some of the boutique stores like Undefeated and Bodega and those sites, I prefer to go on those instead of going on any of the ones that I just mentioned. So on release day, normally I'll go to a couple of the websites, usually Dick's Sporting Goods, Snipes, a few of the other ones that I did talk about. After spending a minute on those, I'll usually go on Sneakers and then give that a try as well. Sneakers usually doesn't matter whether you're the first person that does it or whether you've done it a minute later. Usually it puts everybody in a pool and everybody has an equal chance. So on Sneakers, if it doesn't make any sense whether you sign in on right when it starts or a minute later, you can use that minute to try to get a dub on one of the other websites and then go to Sneakers right after. That's usually what I do. All right, so 10, 15, 20 minutes after the release, you already know whether you got a dub or not, right? And plenty of times it's gonna be multiple L's, right? Multiple L's. A lot of us are used to that. Saturday mornings, Thursday mornings, that's what we're used to. Are we done yet? Does that mean we're done? If you really want a pair, not really. There's still more you can do, you guys. Earlier I did mention you better know exactly how each of the raffles works. That also means knowing when unclaimed pairs are released to the public, because most of these raffles only give you a set amount of time to pick up the sneakers. So some of this depends on the store, some of it depends on the chain. It all just depends. Foot Locker usually have 2 days. So the third day after in the morning, they usually release their pairs. The Shoe Palace that I've been to lately, they've been giving 1 day to pick up the sneakers, and then the second day, they'll re-raffle off the other pairs. Chic, some of them give you till 1 p.m. Some of them give you till the end of the day, I believe. WSS, I don't think I mentioned them earlier. Usually you have to pick up your pairs by 10 a.m. JD Sports, some of them it's 12 p.m. Some of them you have till the end of the day. You're gonna need to call the stores and find out, you guys, because JD Sports kind of does things a little bit differently depending on the store. And yeah, that's about it, you guys. That's about it. There's also stores that do get stuff late as well, so you need to pay attention. And hopefully you're able to build some relationship with some of the people at the stores and you're able to get some information then. If not, you can build a community. You can get to know people online on the internet and stuff like that. That's been a really useful resource for me, but I'm also a YouTuber with millions and millions of followers. All right, maybe not, but I do have a decent following on YouTube and Instagram, which actually does help. So that takes time. So maybe that's something that you might want to do, is you might want to help people in your local area to be able to cop stuff, and then make sure you tag things properly and stuff like that, and then maybe you can help develop a network of people. Because there are a few people that have helped me and I've helped them, and that's been a very, very useful resource. All right, you guys, I tried my best to include information for you beginners as well as you veterans and people who've been taking dubs for years and years and years. I hope there was some sort of useful information for you, and I definitely hope this information was valuable. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thank you so much for making it to the end. As usual, those of you guys that do make it to the end, you guys are the most valued and the most thanked. So definitely appreciate that. Make sure you help a boy out, press that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead, press that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. There's plenty of you that have commitment issues and that haven't committed to the channel, so make sure you guys go ahead and press that subscribe button. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Only I have a couple more days of quarantine left, so you guys know I'm going to be out and about getting plenty of videos for you guys soon enough. So yeah, see you guys next one. Peace. Still in line on Foot Locker for the Kobe 6s. I did hit on Dick's Sporting Goods because I was trying in multiple places. Shoe Palace still pending. Then of course I'm watching Hustler Hacks live stream to get the latest updates as well. But yeah, definitely had to try on multiple places. I just took an L on sneakers. But yeah, had to try different places. And Dick's, I actually hit on Dick's. I've never actually won on Dick's Sporting Goods, so that was kind of crazy.